All right, patrons, you've been patient, so you're going to get a twofer from me. Somebody asked, I asked for ideas, and somebody said, do you have any funny family stories to tell or anything you want to share about your family? I've shared a lot about my family and certain stories. There's two that have come to mind. One is super embarrassing. Like, I can't even believe I'm going to tell you guys this, but you guys pay, so you get the extra shit. There's two stories that I have in mind that are just bizarre, but okay. All right. I'm delaying because I don't want to tell this first story. The first story, I'm just going to get this over with, like ripping off a Band-Aid. I was probably late teens. Yeah, probably late teens or something like that. And I've always had like stomach issues. I don't know why, but you know, you just take something like a milk of magnesia or something like that, clear yourself out, you're good. Whatever reason, this one time, it was so bad. Like, it was bad. And so I just couldn't go to the bathroom. I didn't know what was wrong. And this turned into like 1 or 2 days of this, maybe. Yeah, it was like the second day. And I was just like, normally for most people, I've heard of people like, oh my God, I was constipated for 7 days. I was constipated for a fucking month. I don't know how you don't die. I don't know how you just don't run screaming into a wall, because I had surgery on my stomach when I was a kid. And it did something, must have made my stomach smaller or something like that, because if I don't go at least daily, and we're pushing it if we're going 2 days, I am miserable, like seriously miserable. So, just some context there. I thought, all right, I need to, do something. Like, and trust me, I have taken everything under the sun. If you want to know how to shit, you ask me. Senecot granule, never use it. Cramps you up, you don't want it, bullshit. Doctors will recommend it. Mineral oil, lubes it up, use it for, anal sex. That's about it. You don't use it for fucking poop, doesn't do anything. Metamucil, if you do it with regularity, yeah. I know all of them. I'm telling you, that's how bad my stomach was growing up. So, but this one time, like I said, I was really miserable. It was the next day. I was like, I got it, because I got shit to do and blah, blah, blah. So I took some milk of magnesia. Okay, it did nothing. This is going on hours, and I'm just starting to feel progressively worse. Like, I'm cramping and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe it's something else. So I took some more milk of magnesia. You could probably see where this is going to go. Then I'm like, nothing is happening. It was getting even worse, it felt like. This starts early in the morning, like probably like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And we're on the second day. We're at like probably 6 p.m. the second day, right? So I'm like, there's got to be something or whatever like that. So, I like texted my doctor, and they're like, not texted, I called my doctor, olden days. So I don't know if they had a cell phone. Maybe I did. Yeah, I did. Call my doctor, and they're like, well, you could take a suppository. Now those had eluded me. I didn't know anything about them or whatever. I'm like, what is it? Well, you take this little thing and stick it up your ass, which I'm convinced it does actually nothing. The doctors just sit there and giggle. Just like I totally make him stick that thing up his ass. Yeah, it does. It's like it's like just gelatin. That's all it is. But the guy, can you imagine? He's on his back right now, just fingering his own asshole, trying to shove this thing in there. So I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll do it. I took the suppository, and you have to jam it up your ass. I'm not talking just stick it in your butt, just like stick it. You got to get in there. You better have a gay guy who knows how to fist. That's all because you got to get that shit way up there. And I push it in, and it would pop back out. I'm like, no. So I'm fingering my butt, like in the bathroom, on the floor, wondering what has happened to me. What's going on here? So push it in again. Push it again. So finally, I'm just like, what the fuck? I pushed it, and it went in. I'm like, okay. Then it's like, well, lie on your side for like 2 hours, and then, do the twist and see if something happens. If not, just, I don't know, kill yourself. So I go, and I'm on my bed, which was really low bed. It was like one of those Japanese beds. I always like really low beds. Maybe I'm weird like that, but maybe it was a Japanese in a former life, sorry. Anyway, I'm laying down, laying on the side, and again, this hours, nothing, and I'm feeling worse and worse and worse. So finally, I asked my mom, I'm like, can you take me to the ER? I don't know what's going on, but I feel so bad. I'm cramping. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. So she took me to the ER, and she had a van at that time. And keep in mind, my mom is handicapped, but my mom had a van where she could, one side of her body was completely paralyzed, but the other pedal was for the side of her body that kind of moved, and so she could use one pedal. It was a rehabbed, handy, capable driver van. I don't know how else to describe it to you. It was a Braun. Go look up Braun and how they modify vans for people who have issues like that. But she could drive it. It was not a problem. So I get in there. I remember it had a ramp that goes down. So I walked up to the ramp. The second row is taken out so she could put her card in there. She gets in the cart. She gets in the seat. We're at the hospital. We're good. So I'm sitting there, and they're just like, it's an ER. So you got somebody coughing, and somebody's got a knife stuck in their eye. And they're like, it'll be 3 more hours. We have somebody with a headache. So I'm just sitting there, and like I had to fart. And so I go to the lady. I'm like, do you know where the bathroom is? I'm just like, I feel so bad. She's like, yeah, it was over there. I go to the bathroom. I go to fart. And when I tell you, that was not a fart. That was an explosion of fecal matter that it probably could have rivaled anything in Guinness. Like, it just, I feel so bad. And I'm not one of those people usually that fucking pisses all over a seat or what. Oh, not anymore. I'm an adult now. But like, it everywhere. Everywhere. I couldn't fucking believe it. And I'm just like, oh my God, I didn't have time to clean it up. I couldn't have cleaned it up. That whole roll of fucking industrialized toilet paper wouldn't have cleaned that shit up. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I gonna... So then I'm like, well, fuck it, I can save on the bill, you know. I don't need to be here anymore because shit's working, right? I thought that was pretty much it because I'm like, oh my God, I feel better. This is weird. I'm like, you know, they don't care. It's a year. So I go to my mom and I'm like, we got to get out of here right now because I'm unsure. I'm in my mind, I'm paranoid enough thinking something's going to happen. I don't know what. Something's going to happen here. She's like, well, maybe you should still be seeing because your stomach's... I was like, we gotta go now. Go get that van. Go pull up into the... I can't even walk. Just go pull up to the fucking ramp and I will meet you there holding my stomach. So she's like, are you gonna be okay? I'm like, I think I'm too okay. I said, maybe I underestimated something. So she goes and gets the van. So I'm holding on for dear life and I could feel something, but I felt like it was gonna be a normal thing. So I'm like, okay, I can wait. Not a big deal. Wait, she pulls up, that van door open, I got in, I couldn't make it to the very back seat. I got in, she starts driving. I'm just like, you're gonna hate me. I think I screamed, or I don't even remember what happened. I just remember sinking to the missing second row floor, you know, big matted floor of a car, and it just, I shit the van. I completely shit so much. It was coming out the back of my jeans. I tried to get them down in time. I was trying to get over to a curb somewhere, but we were on a busy street and there was no way. I'm like, and that it's one of those points where you just accept you're gonna shit yourself. You are gonna shit worse than you have ever shit before in your entire life, and it's gonna be nasty. And you're gonna lie in your own shit for a while and think about life. I completely it was so, and then my mom's sitting there trying not to gag. She's rolling down the window. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's going. I'm so sorry. So she's like, oh my God. She's already handicapped. She don't need this shit. She's like practically vomiting out the window. Fucking luckily it was summertime. Can you imagine? So she had all the windows down and everything like that. We keep going and going and going. And it was forming a pool on the floor that I'm laying in. So whenever she would turn a corner, like it would kind of shift, maybe go up towards my shirt. And I'm just like, how am I gonna... I lived in a courtyard complex right in the middle, of course. So I'm like, how am I gonna get in? She called my father, who was just like, oh shit, he's doing something psycho again. He shit the what? What the fuck is wrong with it? You know, my dad was a piece. I love my dad, but this is why I love my parents, though, because I get to the back of the house and she pulls up in there and I'm like, I have to sneak. I said, oh, tell me, unlock the back door. I have to sneak. It was a dark gangway. Through that gangway with shit. All just shit. Like my jeans were stuck to me. Let's put it like that. Shit, I had a little shit here. I just shit. I might as well have just, you know, hopped in the porta potty and sat there for 6 hours and let a bunch of construction workers shit on me. That's how bad it was. I hopped in, I get out of the car, I'm running, there's shit in my shoes, I have my shoes on the back porch. I'm not gonna tell you the cleanup process. Let's just say it took a long time. It involved me getting in the shower, it involved me putting up the clothes, rinsing them off, washing the floor, following the trail of shit I made fucking through the kitchen floor before I just kind of stripped in the kitchen. It was so bad. And then I'm like, oh my God, my mom's poor van. And I gotta go out there and I gotta clean it. I go out there to clean it. My dad had already done it. Which is why, you know, as much as my dad and I butted heads, I love my dad more than anything. If somebody cleans up your shit, they fucking love your ass. All right? So he had done it. He had taken a hose or something. I don't know how he did, but, you know, he's Mexican. They're good at cleaning, you know? So I'm part Mexican, too. Half of me's good at cleaning. The other half of me's like, fuck it. I'm going to make it like hoarders in here. But, God, I can't believe I just told that story. Yeah. So that was that. Second story, shorter, but maybe just a little bit creepier, was I went to a therapeutic school. I got kicked out of a couple of high schools. This is my second high school I was in, where you had to see a psychiatrist pretty much every other day for no apparent reason. I didn't want to talk to this man. Okay, I had to go in there. I mean, he's in. These schools for, you know, special ed and help. You can tell they're a crazy school when it's just like usually a house or like an old industrial complex, or like there used to be a 7-Eleven and they have a bus outside. It's just always a weird location. This was like a house, like an old timey mansion converted into a school for woo-hoos. But every day we had to have every other day or something like that. I have therapy with this dude. And this dude was just so interminably boring, and I had nothing to tell him. What I'm going to tell him? Yeah, yesterday I threw a cigarette in somebody's backpack, and I watched it burn. It was fucking hilarious while they were walking. Yeah, then we went and trashed McDonald's bathroom and pissed all over every fucking single, toilet roll. So when people go to wipe their ass, they're just getting my piss. I have nothing to share with you we can work on together, sir. So this guy, like I said, was boring. So I just started to make shit up I would see on TV and talk about, because he wouldn't let you go unless they have to get something out of you. So I kind of figured out I would talk about my sister. I have a sister, a biological sister. I had not met her yet, so I didn't even know about my sisters yet. That's a different story. But I started making up things about my sister. Let's call her Cheryl. I would just copy random things I saw on TV and everything like that. Like I'm just like, LA Law or Facts of Life. I'm like, yeah, my sister Cheryl, she's really caused my family a lot of problems. How do you feel about that? Well, I get depressed sometimes about it. I don't know what to do. She's smoking a lot of weed. My sister Cheryl did so much shit. She shoplifted. She was making my life miserable. And then I started to get off and lying to him. Just more and more bizarre tales. Like my sister Cheryl the other day, I have to go see him again, sit down. Oh, what's going on with you today? Is your sister acting up again? Yeah. She was actually going to rob a 7-Eleven. She actually went in there and had the gun out and was pointing it at the Indian guy, and he was turned around, and I was like, Cheryl, no, there's so much problems. And she's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, Cheryl, no, please. And she's like, she'll kill you in your fucking sleep. I'm like, Cheryl, I love you. You're my sister. And then so she didn't do it. He's like, oh my God. So I tell him all these stories, all right? More and more stories. I'm like, Cheryl saved me from talking about anything with him. So I could tell him Cheryl's stories and 15 minutes later. So I didn't know this, got so concerned that he called my family in for a meeting, and they're just like, oh, Jason's fighting again. He's doing something stupid or fucked up, whatever. Can you imagine going to the psycho school for your psycho son, and you sit down with the counselor, and he's like, I think we really need to discuss, and I think I know what's causing Jason's bad behavior. I think we need to discuss his sister Cheryl. And my mother and my father, he's just like, what's the problem? Jason doesn't have a sister. I would have killed to be in that meeting. I wasn't there. You could have killed, but she said that he turned pale, and he's like, well, no, your daughter, Cheryl. I don't have a daughter. He has a brother. He has 2 brothers. That's all he's got. Okay, he doesn't have a shit. I don't know what you're talking about, but he's told me all this. Well, he's had a fun time lying to you, and welcome to our world, and why he's here. But the guy was horrified. So then, when I did, he confronted me online, obviously. Then he just started treating me like a schizo. Like I really believed there was Cheryl. I'm like, so then I have to convince the bastard. I'm like, no, I know there's no Cheryl. I made it up because I don't want to fucking talk to you. I have nothing to say to you. Do you see Cheryl right now? Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. So those are 2 of the family stories I can think of. I'm sure there's more. Let me know if you like these, and if you want more, what else I should talk about on here. And, yeah. Poor Cheryl. And I can't believe I told that poop story. I might delete this.